Thanks for checking out this movie review video. This is for the 2019 film Eli, and it's actually a Netflix film. I usually don't do Netflix films. Every now and then I'll get interested enough to kind of venture in there. But this was a pick from L.S. Gregor, subscriber to my channel, who, yeah, hopefully enjoys this review. Honestly, I never would have given this film a shot, so I'm glad that he actually had this as a pick. It's not a phenomenally amazing film, but it was well worth it. I would definitely recommend people checking it out. Now, I will say this is going to be a no-spoiler review since this film is from 2019. Usually within the last 3 to 4 years, I won't do spoilers on reviews, especially with a film like this that I feel like a lot of people probably have not seen, and I am going to recommend watch it. This is one of those films where it's like, don't give up. Because to me, as I was going through it, I was kind of starting to feel like, I don't really know about this. It might just be a big flop in the end, but it's about the end. And the end changes a lot about the film anyway. So watch it, stick it out. It's only like an hour and 38 minutes with credits, so it's not that bad of a time commitment. Anyway, this film, I'm going to butcher this name, unfortunately. The film was directed by Ciaran Foy, who also directed Citadel, Sinister 2, which was very good, Hotel Darklight, and The Haunting of Abley Manor. Bly Manor. Sorry, did a few episodes of The Haunting of Bly Manor. Autocorrect, you know what I mean? Written by David Chirchirillo, who also did 616 Paranormal Incident, Cheap Thrills, ABC's, did some of the ABCs of Death 2 and Bad March. Also written by Ian Goldberg, who did Terminator, The Sarah Connor Chronicles, Once Upon a Time, Dead of Summer, Fear the Walking Dead, and The Autopsy of Jane Doe, which is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And Richard Naing, or Naing, I don't know how the last name's said, also did Dead of Summer, Fear the Walking Dead, and The Autopsy of Jane Doe. So obviously those two, him and that individual and Goldberg, worked together before. Originally, this film was with Paramount, and it ended up getting acquired by Netflix for distribution because Paramount had a hard time figuring out how to market the film. I can see that. Having seen the film now, I can see why they had a hard time marketing the film, and it looks like Netflix probably had a hard time kind of marketing it anyway. I didn't watch any trailer because I just don't watch trailers. I'd be interested to know what the trailer is like on this one because it's probably kind of a misrepresentation. Like I said, I could see where it's kind of confusing on how to market it. The setup for the film is already sad out of the gate because of how this character of Eli, that's who it's named after, is really, really isolated, and you can tell that he's going through some really tough stuff. It's literally about a kid who is having reactions to something. He has some sort of sickness, some sort of illness that you as a viewer don't really know what it is. It's not really named so much, especially not in the beginning of the film. And then this individual is extremely isolated, kind of living in one of these like tents, like these see-through tents, basically like a bubble boy in essence. And whenever he goes places, he needs to kind of like wear this whole like hazmat type suit so no air gets in, stuff like that. So it's basically about the parents then take Eli to this special place that's in this very beautiful, very large looking old mansion, and very, made of stone. So it looks really interesting and cool and creepy at times. And they're going to get this special treatment for him that apparently was very costly, or at least they say. And so, yeah, then things happen. I don't want to go further than that because I don't want to tip the hand of the film of what's, actually at play here. But early on, you don't feel great about humanity. There is something that happens very early in the film, an interaction with Eli and some adult individuals who don't act like adults. They're basically bullies, and it kind of sets a tone for you to kind of glom onto Eli even stronger. Like, you're already seeing that he's in this very sad position. Then you're seeing these people like picking on him for his condition and what's going on. And it just really helps you kind of like get super close to him. So the film really is from his perspective for that reason. You do see a little bit of perspective from some other characters, mainly his parents, And I mean, it's really just perspectives from him primarily, and then his parents each. Mainly his mother. More his mother than his father, but there is a reason for that. You'll kind of get it at the end of the film, but it is important. There's something key in a character interaction early on that kind of plants a seed of doubt about what's going on. And it's not like subtle or anything. Everyone will pick up on it. It's not something that's said in a character interaction. It's something that's actually not said in that interaction that makes you immediately like, okay, red flag. Let's go. Things are about to start going down. They get into a creepiness relatively quickly with the film, and they actually do a pretty good job of holding it. One of the main reasons being, you know, these individuals who are running this like science lab or like they have like surgery situation set up too, like an OR. But they didn't like take any time to like spruce the place up, so it's like pretty bare bones, not very well decorated and warm if they're gonna have kids there, which it seems like the kids just end up like kind of roaming around, to be honest. I mean, Eli does, at least. You do get the idea here and there that he wasn't really supposed to, but no one really stopped him. So it's just kind of like, why wouldn't you make this more inviting? It's kind of a weird thing, but you would think that if professionals were using a creepy castle in which they're treating kids and letting them roam around, that they would make it very warm fashion-wise in there. There are moments that question the perspective that you end up experiencing. It is a lot about seeing things through Eli's eyes. Yeah, I mean, that is what it really is about, and that's the reason that so much is thrown at you in the beginning of the film to make you further attach to Eli as a character. Not going to go any further than that. There's a very specific reason the name Eli is also chosen, and you do actually learn that. It's not like, I took all this time thinking about it and figured it out, or my theory on it. You'll see. Like, you will understand why that's done. And, yeah. A lot of times people just choose names for characters, and it's just like, I like this name, but there's a purpose to it, so I like that. Well planned. You don't just end up feeling bad for Eli in this, you actually end up feeling bad for his parents, because you see what they're going through from an emotional standpoint. You can tell they're very worn down from the years, literally years. I think at one point it said it had been like 4 years that he's been dealing with this. Like, you see how worn down they are. You see they're actually strapped for cash as well. So things are not looking great. You can see cracks in their marriage happening here as well. And you just see the worry coming from them. Like, they obviously love their son so much, but they're also exhausted at this point. So they do a good job of kind of letting you attach to a degree to the parents as well. They make really interesting and good use of reflective surfaces at certain times within this film. And there are a decent amount of reflective surfaces because of the way the inside of this big castle is designed. So I like what they did there. That leads to another thing, which is the CGI used in this is good. I do like the CGI. There are a lot of cool, interesting visuals with the film. It's well directed. Cinematography is good. It's nothing like amazing. No like, oh my god, unbelievable, beautiful flair in the way it looks. But it's good. It's well done for sure. There's nothing that's going to take you out of the film from that perspective and be like, oh, that's terribly done. So it's good. Even though the main character has people around him, they make him seem fully isolated in a few different ways. Which actually really helps you even further to kind of bond to this character, stick to this character, and really feel what this character is feeling. So I think they did a good job with that as well, which points to a pretty well done film. By the time they make a big reveal, you've easily guessed a long time ago what this reveal is. It's the first reveal. There are multiple reveals. So the good thing is, this isn't the only reveal. They make this reveal. It seems like they're making a big deal out of it. But you're ending up like, okay, like, I assumed this a while ago. So you're just like, is this what this movie's going to be like? But stick with it, because it's not. Because then there's another reveal that makes the film seem stupid and a waste of time. But hang in there. So you basically have these two checkpoints where it's like people could easily end up checking out. But stick with it. It's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it. There's a point in the film where everything changes, and that's what makes the film worth it. That is what the film is all about. once it's getting towards its big finish, that's when everything flips, everything changes. You rethink a lot of things in the film, to be honest, and it's quite a good ending. I will be honest, like, everything, they did good things leading up to the ending of the film, but they could have done better. There are a lot of things they could have done a lot better, including cutting the runtime down on this, because they drew out some things way too much leading up to that ending. And I'm going to be honest, I think the ending was drawn out too long, too. They had the opportunity to end it with, like, a stinger of, like, big moment of impact, and they chose to put stuff after that that doesn't have the same type of impact. They easily could have left you with this moment of like, whoa, as the credits roll, but they chose to give you that moment and then keep going with stuff that's more droll and just kind of like brings you down off that high, and then you're just like, oh, okay, well, like, we're still doing this. So it kind of flattens the ending out a little bit, but it doesn't detract from it too much. I just think they should have been a little smarter with where they ended the film. They let it go on too long. This film is not something new. This type of film. It's not something new, but it's done in a new way. And that's the big thing. If you're going to retread ground that's already been tread before, do it in a different way. Give us something interesting. It's not the same thing, really, but it felt... The way of like doing something new and kind of like flipping things felt similar to the film The Blackcoat's Daughter to me, which The Blackcoat's Daughter is definitely a better film than this, but this is still a good film. This plays heavily on the fears of parents about their children specifically. Now, that doesn't hit home for me necessarily because I don't have kids, but I can understand it. Like, from a societal perspective, I understand that people really care about their kids, and like a film like this should, you know, make parents feel even more sad, feel even more concerned while looking at this situation, and even more conflicted at times too. There is a slight theme here of kind of like body versus spirit as well. Like, who is a person from a bodily standpoint, who is a person from a spiritual standpoint, and I'm not going to go further than that. Last thing I have to say, really good performance by Charlie Shotwell, who played the character of Eli. That is a demanding role for someone young, and he did a really good job for that. He hit a range of emotions. He really delivered on that role, and great job, Charlie. I mean, pretty impressive. Hopefully he has a bright future ahead of him, because things are looking good at the moment. Anyway, out of 5 stars with half stars in play, I'm going to give a very solid 3.5 star rating. It is definitely worth watching for sure. Not a film that I think I would revisit, but there's enough there for me to say it's a definite watch it one time to know what the ending is, because the ending's worth it, in my opinion. So, would love to hear other people's opinions on it. We can talk spoilers in the comments, so go ahead. So if there's any extra information you wanted to get out of me from a review standpoint that deals in specifics about the film, go ahead and ask those questions in the comments, and we can go back and forth on that. Also, do me a favor, hit subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It is quick, painless, costs you nothing, and literally makes me very happy. It keeps me motivated to keep doing these, because that's the best way to repay me. Also, hit the notification bell button, because then you'll know when I'm putting up new videos, and I'm doing 4 a week at least at this point. Sometimes lately 5, depending on how many Shudder exclusive and original films are coming out in the week. But I'm putting in work, is my point. So pay me back by subscribing and hitting the notification bell button and watching the videos. So thank you, though, for taking your time to watch this particular video. And until next time, keep it brutal.